Well, we're up. And it's only 10 after 7. How about that? I feel like I should have officially changed my start time to like 7:15, but I think pretty much everybody's getting used to this. Anyway, so off we go, headed for Seattle. Really can't tell if we've got high fog or if it's all smoke. I guess as it begins to get more and more daylight, it will we'll be able to see what it is. Hey, Bird, welcome in, bud. Hi, Karen. Morning. Yeah, I can't tell yet. When I got up at 6, it was still dark out, so uh, it really isn't all the way daylight yet. And it looks like it may be smoke that's in there, which kind of sucks. But oh well, I hate that phrase, but it is what it is. Hopefully, traffic's not too bad this morning, but we'll see. So, how's your guys' days going? Hopefully, you're having a lovely morning, or in Vern's case, evening. Vern is my buddy from Germany, so he's several hours ahead of us. So far, so good. That's about how my morning's going too. So far, so good. Morning, Jerry. Pouring down. Excuse me, that's not good. Greg Johnson is one of our moderators. When we were doing show prep Sunday night, I was talking to him, and he'd had 3 inches of rain that morning or that day, Sunday. But in a matter of a couple of hours, I don't know where he is in location. I don't know exactly where he lives, but he's out in the Midwest somewhere. Another 3 inch over 3 this morning yet? Wow. See, everybody says it rains a lot in Seattle, but you guys are getting hammered. We don't. Occasionally, we'll get an inch of rain, maybe an inch and a half, but that's really rare. It's more like an eighth of an inch to a quarter of an inch every few days. But we rarely get hammered with a big storm like that. Like I can probably honestly say, I can count on one hand the number of times I've heard over an inch and a half of rain in my life. Can't move to Seattle. If you can put up with the gray skies, because it's gray most of the year. As I start doing these lives coming into winter, you'll see it. But And that's the biggest problem people have with coming to this area. From middle of October until middle of May, the skies are gray. Occasionally we get a sunny day, but it's cold sunny. Oh, okay. Yeah, I grew up here, so it doesn't bother me. Plus, I'm working in the trade I'm in. We were out. You're always out in the weather, and it never really bothered me. So you go out to a commercial property, and you may be on the roof the entire day. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, yeah, that's what it is. You get when it's raining, you got to be a little more careful playing with the electricity. But other than that, you just continue working, throw your rain gear on, and go to it. Yep. Yeah, it is really hazy. This. It looks like it's smoke, and it may be. Well, at least the carpool lanes are. The lights are flashing now, so they may be getting close to lighting these lanes up. That would be nice. Yeah, I mean the running joke is we don't get summer until after the 4th of July, and it's really pretty accurate. And then from the third week of July until about the third week of August is when we get our really hot weather. Occasionally we'll get a day or two outside of that, but that's when we get most of our really hot weather. Hi, honey. The puppies stay in bed or do they get up with you? They didn't seem too interested when I put their harnesses on. Well, that's surprising. I figured you'd have trouble getting them up, but as lazy as they were this morning. Yeah, it looks really smoky. And I'd definitely go up the back way this morning here. 167 is kind of a mess. Yeah, let's go see where mom's going. Yeah. Yeah, you get used. I mean, yeah, I got used to it. I grew up here, but yeah, it's a lot of gray through the winter. Jerry's supposed to get another 3 inches of rain today. that's better. Now we're moving. Oh, well, hi, Katie. I'm sorry. Thank you for being here, though. I did post a picture of on my community post page of the hill out in front of the house, and the colors are finally starting to change on the leaves, and the sun's shining it up nicely. Was the end of the day a couple of days ago, but it really made the leaves pop off the hill. It's kind of cool. I'm kind of excited about this appointment today. Hi, Jan. Thanks for coming in. Good morning, Simon. Wow, gang's all here. Cool. Um, Supposed to be another nice day, but man, the smoke just looks ridiculous. Gotta be nice to be riding a bike today. Come on, people, quit testing it and put it into play. Would save me so much time. I could actually sleep in another hour. Exactly. The important people are here. Ah, yeah, I have to change the dressing on my foot every day, and it actually looks like it's improving. So we'll see what the doctor says. There's been a lot more drainage than there was going on, so it's obviously doing something. Why I don't go the back way? Uh, Convenience, I guess. I don't have to think about it. I just aim, aim and go. God, you can certainly tell the difference between a guy unlicensed and riding a crotch rocket and a guy who's licensed and riding a Harley. That's where I'm headed, Jan. I go up every Tuesday morning to the wound care clinic to see my doctor. Hi, morning, Tiger. Thanks for stopping by, buddy. Um, for those that don't know, on May 31st, 2023. Hi Des, thanks for stopping by, honey. I had a carcinoma removed from the bottom of my foot, which left a 9 by 9 centimeter hole in the bottom of my foot, and it healed up down to a roughly a couple of centimeters by a couple of centimeters, and we've been progressively, very slowly healing that down, and then it would then for the last year take 2 or 3 steps forward, and then something would happen, and I'd get knocked back. Um, and that's been going on for at least a year now. And they just 3 weeks ago decided to take another run at using stem cells. Uh, we tried this a year and a half ago, and it was draining so badly that they kept floating out of position, so it wasn't doing any good. Um, and it had gotten to the point where I would go up Tuesday, the doctor would trim whatever wasn't good out of the way. There would be some drainage Wednesday when I changed the bandage, and that would be the end of it. It would be Everything would be dry the rest of the week until I went back the following Tuesday. So they decided that it would be a good opportunity to take another run at the stem cells. Uh, and we've been doing that now. This is the third week. Well, this last week was the third week we've done that. And all right, we're going to try it from this. And it looks like it's improving and working. Yeah, yeah, we had insurance problems too. And when Tom and I started this company, um, we actually talked about what insurance to get for everybody, and we intentionally, specifically purchased top and wide insurance for everybody, which has helped. Yeah, really had to fight for stem cell last time. Wow, it's only 7 1/4 today, so they think traffic isn't very bad. But they did deny hyperbaric, and I don't know. I mean, it was a long shot. No, Medicare wouldn't pay for hyperbaric. Yeah, for as much money as they want, it's ridiculous. My belief, the way hyperbaric works, is that it was a very viable option for me, and it may very well work for you, Simon. Um, I mean, the whole concept of it, it's a great concept. You're basically changing the pressure around your body, which would cause blood to flow better, let's say, to without going into deep explanation on it, or a deep rabbit hole, as it were. Um, Basically, they put you in and Jerry knows all about this. He was a diver in the Navy. Um, but they put you in a big cylinder. It's a group hyperbaric, so there's like 20 other people in there. and basically they seal you in there, and they begin altering the barometric pressure. Yeah, pea soup it is. Although everybody's in scrubs and clean, and I mean, I went through the orientation, uh, and when they finally went to, no, you're not in water. You're sitting in a shade like a lazy boy type chair, and no phones, no electronics. Um, all you can do is if you're a reader, you can bring a book or crossword puzzles or that kind of stuff. Um, but yeah, no electronics, uh, no music. Well, they've got music going, I guess, but that was kind of my thought too. How am I going to keep up on my YouTube if I have to sit there for 2.5 to 3 hours? But if it would have helped, I'd have done it. If we could have done it, I'd have done it. Yeah, they've got it. Well, they do have a nurse in there, and you're allowed to have water. um, but obviously, it's a huge machine, and they can only do 20 people at a time, and it's a 2 or 3 hour procedure, so it's obviously expensive. So hopefully you can get approval on it, Simon, because my bet is it will help. From the research we did, it looked like had very promising results. Yeah, yeah. I don't remember offhand what pressure they took you to, but I know it was a big step. Uh, the because it was minutes to get the pressure and 2 hours, 1.5 to 2 hours at pressure. Yeah. Anyway, good luck with that, Simon. Hopefully it works out for you. All right. Get up here just a little bit more, and we got to jump over a couple lanes and grab this exit, and then we'll scoot across the valley and go to I-5. There we go. There's the spot. Thank you, Jan. That's what I'm hoping for. Luckily, with the company, I'm running the service department, and mostly what I do is track parts and do tech support for the guys I've got out in the field. Uh, and that I can do from home. So luckily, I'm still able to work. I know you're struggling with it, Des, but the more times you go, the better chance it is it's going to work. How's the Vertigo doing? Hi, Brandon. Welcome in. Still have it. That's not good. Oh, great. An ambulance shows up to screw up the stoplights. There we go. Now I can jump a lane. And I made the light. Cool. Yeah, it's got to be something pressing on your inner ear doing that. Or something that was pressing on your inner ear has now caused infection. Yeah, it's going to be a beautiful sunny day, Jan. It's just that, like I said earlier, I think the smoke is just ridiculous. There is some low-lying fog, but exactly, Simon. And on these, I don't know if they have these everywhere, but here we have on hidden corners they put these flashing lights up that tell you if the stoplight's going to go red, and it's not flashing, so I know I can maintain speed up to this stoplight. Oops, it just went, but that should give me enough time to make it. Close enough. Legally, as long as it's yellow when it disappears over the top of my windshield, I'm good. Yeah, to get that kind of numbers, it's got to be just coming down. Yeah, trees are finally starting to change colors. Um, that's what Greg was saying, that his whole town was flooding out Sunday. And I don't recall offhand where Greg lives exactly. I know he's Midwest, but his whole town was flooding out. Luckily, he was up on a little hill, but Hey, Darren, thanks for coming in. Yeah, the leaves are starting to change finally. We're getting cold nights now. Hopefully, we'll get a little bit more color. We're starting to get the oranges and browns. A little bit of the yellow, but not a lot yet. The hill out in front of the house, the colors on that are just amazing. Um, like I said, I did put a picture up on my post community post page of the hill being backlit by the sunset, and it really makes the colors pop. Yeah, cattle are on their own for the moment, huh? Yeah, we haven't had any real bad flooding yet this year, but it's coming. We know it is. One of us needs to post up some of the pictures from the 2009 flooding, where it swept away the lion's share of our bank, and we were within 5 or 6 feet of the house going. It's really kind of dumb. They rerouted the creek uh, for the railroad, and they basically put a chute behind our house, and so the creek goes from being about 30 feet wide to being about 17 feet wide and much deeper, and it'll fill it all the way up. Usually, we don't see it up above. Well, this is messed up. We don't see it above about half or three quarters, but it's definitely. Hey, Judy May, I sent you an email the other day, honey. I haven't heard back, so I didn't know if it gone to your junk mail or what. How are you doing? We were all just having foot talk. You came in just at the right time. It's so nice to see you, dear. We've all been worried about you. Uh, you got hyper. We were just talking about hyperbaric. That's awesome if you got hyperbaric. I got turned down on it. They're waiting for approval for Simon. There you go, Simon. She can answer more questions than I can. She's actually doing it. Just take care of you. we're all just know that our prayers are with you, honey. Everybody's worried about you. I don't. I think I can honestly say I don't go to a live anymore where you're not mentioned. That's cool. Good luck. Good luck. Good luck. Good luck. Yeah. Just out of curiosity, how often are you going? 3 days a week? If memory serves, that's what they're talking about for me. At 1 inch now, and you got two more coming. It's going to be a rough day. 4 days a week? Wow. Yeah, too. That's what I was told too. It was like 2 to 3 hours. Oh, that was fast. That one's faster than the one they were talking to me about. We were going to be 30 minutes on the way down and then 30 minutes on the way back up. Are you in a? You're in a group vessel, or are you in a single? I was trying to explain it all to Simon, and but I've only been through orientation. I never actually got to go through it. My insurance turned it down. Yeah. Well, we have a pro in the chat. Jerry was a diver in the Navy. Probably still has his credentials. Oh, okay. Yeah, the hospital that I deal with had two singles, a double, and then a tank that would hold 20 people. Yeah. Yeah, it looks like a big Tylenol, to quote an old airplane line. Yeah. The only thing that was going to drive me crazy, and Simon said the same thing, is I can't have my phone. That's right. I forgot that, Tiger. I forgot you were driving commercially too. Well, I guess Gary wasn't commercial, but same idea. Yeah, no electronics in the capsule. At least they didn't allow it in mine. Wow. Well, hopefully your foot is healing up nicely too. Drops 80 points while you're in there. Wow. I'd heard that the casinos did that. Yeah, it would probably be okay in a solo capsule. When it was the whole group, it's like, hey, God, I don't want to watch the view for 2 hours. Can we put on some old Roadrunner cartoons or something? Oh, okay. Well, all right. Let's see where the traffic stats look like. Wow, already. Wow, okay. Just the off ramp. you are missed too, Judy. You are hugely missed. Yeah, that's the line for Starbucks. Wouldn't surprise me. There goes our light rail. One of Seattle's running jokes. 1980, they voted to spend the money to build that thing, and it still doesn't get out of the Seattle city limits. They've been building to take it across Lake Washington into Bellevue on I-90, and that's been going on for 10 years. We had reversible express lanes. Basically, there were three bridges all combined. One went eastbound, one went westbound, and there was a reversible express lane in the middle. And they closed down the reversible express lane and decided to put the light rail on that. Just dumb. Well, it's nice that you dropped in. Thank you, Goofy. Everybody got a quick update. I'm glad you're trying to heal up nicely. Hopefully that all goes well. There are too many of us with these kind of problems. Um, uh, my biggest problem is the phantom pain. The neuropathy pretty much keeps the hole at bay. Uh, but because of the missing toes, I have what's called phantom pain. Basically, what hurts is what's not there. Um, if you bang your knee on something, the first thing you do is put your hand on your knee and rub it. And I got nothing. If I stub my toe, there's no toe to grab, and so that's where the majority of the pain is in my feet. Um, yeah, apparently not everybody has that problem, but those of us that do, and it's ridiculous. Um, I was worried about it all along. My mom lost her leg, first below and then above the knee. Although a lot of that I believe was due to an idiot surgeon. Um, just to give you an example, he was trying to get more blood flow down to her leg, and so he basically made an incision at her hip line and made another incision up by her neck and fished a rubber tube from one end to the other. Didn't connect them anywhere. Just fished this tube from one end to the other, and that was his plan to get more blood flow to her leg. So after doing research, long after she passed away, we realized what an idiot she was. Um, anyway, she really struggled with phantom pain on those amputations, and I think some of it has to do with done, I suspect, and then some of it just has to do with everybody's different and their bodies react differently. But because I do know people that have amputations and just don't have a clue what phantom pain is. But that's where most of my pain is. That, and then I've got it's called CDH, chronic daily headache syndrome, and that started in August of 1996, and it's never gone away. Uh, it's a constant headache behind my right eye. Before it was controlled. All right, honey, have a good day. Love you. Uh, Before it was controlled, I was on at one point 800 milligrams of long acting morphine a day, and still ending up at the ER 10 to 15 days a month for another 200 milligrams of Demerol to knock it down. And it was completely unpredictable. It would go from a 3 to a 10 in a matter of an hour. My kids could see it coming before I could because my right eye would start to close down, and they would say, "Dad, it's coming. Go lay down." Um, and I would go lay down in a dark, cold place and try and keep it from elevating. And then in 2003, I found I honestly don't know if she found me or if I found her, but I found a doctor who specialized in this. Um, and she actually knew who I was before I knew who she was, because at that time there were only 7 of us on the West Coast that had it, and she was one of them. Anyway, through her research, she discovered an epilepsy drug that would basically control it, maybe. Anyway, once I started on that, it pretty much would settle down and stay at a 3. And occasionally it goes up. I haven't had one that got above a 7 in years. Um, but that's the other part of the pain. After I got on that medication, I actually weaned myself off of the morphine. Was in the process of coming all the way off of it. I'd gotten down to 10 milligrams a day, and then I got hurt at the Pizza Hut, and this whole foot thing started. So anyway, hi Nikki, thanks for stopping by. Um, yeah. Anyway, so medical talk today. Yay! Good luck with your treatment today, Judy. Hopefully, all goes well with the doctor too. Take care, honey. Love you, and we'll talk to you soon. I hope. Hopefully, all goes well. work our way over so we can try and get into a position to have a better view of the city as we pull in. It's actually called MS Contin, yeah, or morphine sulfate extended release. Yeah, tablet. And I don't remember what it was. Basically, they were 8 to 12 hour pills. Um, and then when I got down and got down to the 10 milligrams, it was called something else. I just don't remember what it was. And now I'm back up to 200 milligrams 3 times a day. And half of you are now asking, how the hell is he driving on that? And it's because I've been on it for so long. I've actually been through 3 times, been tested by occupational medicine doctors, and been approved to drive. It really, you think of pain meds and they alter your mind, and this doesn't do that. It just cuts the top off the pain. Yeah, makes traffic a bit easier to take. Um, yeah, it doesn't. It really doesn't affect my mind at all. My reaction speeds and everything is the same as it was off of it. Uh, but every now and then somebody goes sideways and says, "You can't drive on that," and then I got to go back to an occupational doc and run through the tests again and prove that I can actually operate like this. What's odd is that normally the problem is that you become resistant to it, and so the theory is you constantly need to be moving upward in the amount you take. And I've been on the same dose now for 4 years, and I don't. It's not a problem. It's doing its job. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. I do have 15 milligram pills for breakthrough, and so sometimes I need to take an extra one of those. But even then, I don't feel it mentally. It just cuts the top off the pain. And when you live with pain long enough, you learn to live with it for the most part, at least with it as much as you can. So, just realized I still had the heat on. It's getting warm in here. Yes, there is, but this isn't supposed to be one of them. Um, there we go. There's the city. Yeah, Yeah, I can even see the Olympic Mountain, so I got a bad feeling about whether or not we're going to be able to see Mount Rainier going back. Yeah, when I first started out, I was on OxyContin, and then when the whole stigma came out with OxyContin, and I was on an absurd dose, and I don't know why I was on that dose. Uh, it was 40 milligrams. It was long acting. I didn't know it at the time. I hadn't done any research into it yet, and had never heard of it at that point. This was back in the early 90s, or 96 to be exact. Uh, but I was on 40 milligrams every 4 hours on a long acting drug, and I don't know why the doctor put me on that dose, but he did. And so anytime I went into a pharmacy to get it filled, the pharmacist would look at me weird. I got tired of that stigma, so I went in and said, "What else could I take? I'm getting tired of this." Every time, and not every pharmacy had it, and so I'd have to. It's what they say is pharmacy shop, and that's not really what I was doing, but the pharmacy would be out of it, so I couldn't get it there. I'd have to go call around, find a pharmacy that did have it, take it into there, and then they'd look at me funny. Anyway, so I went in and said, "What else can we do?" And they said, "Well, there is a long-acting morphine form, but that could upset your stomach and could do this and could do that." And I said, "Let's try it." And so we tried that. And then another doctor decided maybe we would try a fentanyl patch. And the medication worked fine, but turns out I'm allergic to the adhesive. So every time I had to change a patch, I'd peel the old one off, and about 6 layers of skin would come off with it. So needless to say, that only lasted a couple of weeks. And we had to change patches every 3 days. And to get the same dose, I had to wear 3 patches. So you can imagine I had 2 by 2 patches on both legs that were missing skin. God, this has just been medical talk all the way up, hasn't it? I'm sorry. um, what else? Hey, I do want to clear something up. Um, all of the artwork and all of the songs and everything that we do, those are all written. Those aren't. Make a song about the moose and let AI do it. Civi actually writes the lyrics to the song. The only thing we use AI for is the music. And all of her artwork she does by hand. She doesn't use AI to make that. Um, and I just wanted to clear that up for some that think she's doing it with AI. The only thing that AI is used for is she takes her lyrics, pastes them in, selects whether she wants it to be a rock poppy song or a ballad, and then she runs it and we see what it comes up with. And if we don't like it, we dump that one and make some other selections and let it run again. But she writes all those lyrics. And it's obvious that some of the other intros and stuff that are out there are, but a lot of them are completely AI. And I just wanted to make the point clear that that's not what we're doing. Yeah, she's so creative. It's just ridiculous. I mean, I keep getting credit for producing, and all I produce is the lives. I do some editing, but usually she re re edits it, and completely changes it. Hey Lee, thanks for coming in, buddy. Yeah, she's it just blows me away when she does these things. And now she's working on stuff for October for Halloween, and that just looks amazing. Hi, Andy Jan. Thank you for stopping in, dear. All right, I gotta make my way over a couple of lanes here. Yeah, we're talking about doing some more live drives on the weekend with both of us. Everybody seemed to like that trip back from when we went up and had dinner with Jerry and Susan, and then we went live on the way back. Um, I think I got the spot now. I can move over if this truck in front of this person moves. There we go. There's one lane. Yeah, so we're just debating where to go. She's obsessed with going down to the Des Moines Pier, which would be okay, but I really can't walk around there. So it would be a case of drive down and then she can go look at things and I'll stay in the car and then we'll drive back. We didn't say anything bad, Jerry. It was more bad about each other. Yeah, that's actually on the unofficial official off topic squirrel. Um, Normally she doesn't do live drives on Munchie Mafia. She has done a couple of them recently, but we try and keep cooking on that channel. That was funny though. um, uh, but I sus- and the way she gets around that is that when she does them, she just doesn't ever put them up. Uh, doesn't release them publicly. So if you were there, you were there, and you got to see it. Yeah, you are a funny guy. um, Jackass. Turned my turn signal on, truck slowed down to let me in, and some dickhead came zipping in behind me and jumped in my spot. There we go. Nope. Yeah, the two of us together are ridiculous. Um, Basically, she beats me up and I put up with it, but it's fun. Fun. Thank you. Always got to give a courtesy wave. Well, yeah, but they're all headed up to Capitol Hill. And I'm headed up to Phil Hill. I'll mention it to her, Jerry. Depends on how busy she gets, but I'll mention it to her. Yeah, I may get her be able to get her to do that. What we're doing now on the end of the lives is every creator that shows up in our live gets, I add them to a list, and then they get put on a wheel, and then after we're done with the wheel of misfortune, we spin that wheel, and then that picks who we're going to do the outro song with on the next live. Um, and that's one of the ways that we pay it forward. We also have everybody that uh, if you haven't seen an outro, you wouldn't know what I'm talking about. But on our outros, we list a lot of channels to try and promote them. Um, and it looks basically what you see is what you would see from a phone if you brought the channel up on your phone, and it's really very clever. That lists a bunch of channels across that way, and then somebody gets written into the song. Dez has had a song, the Moose has had a song, Simon's had a song. Anyway, that's how we're picking who to put on the end of the on the outro songs now. Hey, Fever, thanks, buddy, for stopping in. Um, but yeah, I'll mention it to her, Gary. Bella Wilson potatoes. I haven't. She may have. Yeah. Unfortunately, my memory isn't good enough to remember that. Uh, but yeah, I would absolutely ask her. She may know exactly what you're talking about. I only know the standards: golden, reds, russets, uh, sweet potatoes, and yams, and that's about the extent of it. But I will mention that to her, Jerry. Oh, speak of the devil, there she is. She probably was getting ready, and now she's on the road headed to work. This friggin' bus gonna let me in or not? There he goes. That guy moved, and he didn't have a choice now. Now I can jump over one more, and then we're good to go. There we go. Oh, you're still getting dressed. Dang. Well, since she's running around trying to get out the door, I'm going to answer that. She's really enjoying her new job, other than that. She's got some people in the kitchen that act like a bunch of 4-year-olds. Her dishwasher Sunday apparently called out sick with 5 minutes before her shift, and then yesterday called out half an hour before her shift. That's not good. You can't even get somebody in to cover it then. But otherwise, she's loving it, and the people are loving her. Yeah, of course you do. Got to keep those cattle help happy, and you have a wildly successful YouTube channel you have to run. Bump, bump, bump. Ouch. That's a nasty bump. I wish they'd fix that one. That's not work. That's fun. Yeah, um, my ex's dad used to run buffalo, American bison. Pardon me. He'd cut my head off if he heard me say that. And those things, I've run cattle before when I was younger. Um, when I was young, I spent my winter days in Bellevue going to school, and my summer days in Chehalis on my aunt and uncle's farm. And so I've run cattle, and I've done all the farm stuff, buck hay, and anyway, buffalo are a whole nother kind of critter. Uh, they you basically they don't uh, you can't convince them to do anything. If they don't want to do it, they aren't doing it. And no fencing keeps them in. If you've got them in a, I mean, he had some hot wires around the fence, and the bulls would just walk up, loop a horn around it, and yank it out. And then basically you had to go get a bucket of grain and convince them all that they wanted to come to you and follow you to get the grain. Well, everybody calls them buffalo, but they're actually American bison. But the same ones that are in Yellowstone and across the Great Plains, and yeah, those. And he was adamant about it. If I slipped and said buffalo, I'd get torn up for about 20 minutes hearing the story. Oh boy, police. All right, guys, this is the last road. I got one more stoplight after this, and then I got to pull into the parking garage. So we are going to shut it down for now, and I will be back in about an hour or an hour and a half. Thank you all for being here. It's been lovely. It's been great fun. Yeah, they're really awesome. They're great unless you got to run them and do shots and stuff because they don't want to go around the tub. They don't want to do anything. All right, we'll see you guys in a little bit. Thank you so much. Love y'all, and we'll see you soon.